Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? So, hello, I'm Alex Radcliffe from BoardGameCo, and welcome to the weekly live chat, or the sometimes weekly live. Next week, there should be a weekly live next week as well. Oh, I know what next week's is. That's not that big a deal. Next week's weekly live is actually going to be focused, okay? Because I already did a video recently on 10 games I have no regrets about going all in on, or more specifically 10 games I utilize all the content for. And I have going up this Monday 14 games that I probably shouldn't have gone all in on, but I also don't really regret all of them, but I probably shouldn't have nonetheless. And so I have that going up this Monday. But I'm going to go ahead and focus next week's weekly live. Is going to be very focused on those two videos and the comments I got, because I got lots of comments. What about this game? What about that game? So any questions about those two videos, if you want to know why one game is in one list and not the other, even after I say it, if you want to know why one game is absent entirely, next week's weekly live will be me focusing on that. You can obviously ask whatever you want, but I will be focusing on looking at comments, things like that for all of those. But past that, good morning, everyone. Who here is headed to PAX? I probably should have titled this like PAX something or other. But who here is headed to PAX? Because I'll be headed at PAX, and the usual usual note applies, which is I'll be at PAX, and if you see me, by all means stop me, and if I'm rushing to a meeting, I'll tell you, but I'll try to be super polite and apologetic about it, but I will be at PAX, and I don't have as crazy a PAX schedule as I do for Gen Con. Gen Con's always insane. It's like, hey, you have 2 seconds to breathe, now run across to get to where you need to go. PAX is much easier. Origins is easier. I do have meetings lined up, but not nearly as many, but I will be at PAX, so if you see me, feel free to say hi. You don't have to say hi, like no pressure, like you don't have to. I find I'm always in a position where if I see someone who I watch or know or whatever, I'm always like a little shy to like walk up to them. I'm like, I don't know if they want, like I don't know if they want me to, like, I don't know. I'm always a little shy. And them saying, hey, walk up and say hi, sometimes that can push some people over the edge. Others are still like, I just like your videos. I don't want to like be awkward, man. But either way, whatever you want to do, whatever floats your boat, whatever gives you the best convention experience possible. But with that said, good morning, Steve. Good morning, James. Good morning, Brian. Good morning to everyone. Frankie, I've not tried Gosu X. I think that was referencing someone else saying Gosu X. But yeah, I like Gosu. I like Gosu more than Gosu X, but I like Gosu X too. Nat, gotta hand to Alex Radcliffe from BoardGameCo for management to do a not weekly live one day before PAX. Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard. Maybe, sometimes. It kind of depends on where I am. The busyness of how busy I am is always going to be present. You just gotta roll with it and call it a day. But for me, PAX, what's it called? If I'm traveling on Wednesday, if I'm actually gone, that makes it a little harder. But I'm not gone. I'm still here. I leave tomorrow morning. So because of that, I can still say hi to all of you. I can talk to you. I can in some way engage with whatever's going on. Steve, I'm going to PAX. Steve, maybe I'll see you. David, it's not just a sleeper hit. I don't know why it's not popular. The best dueling game I've played in years. I don't know. I like the original Gosu a lot. I love the original Gosu. I played Gosu X, and I like some of the things they're doing, but I miss the art and charm of the original Gosu. But I do agree that they have these modifiers that go in play that affect the battle based on the clans you don't choose. I like that concept. I wish the original Gosu did that, but I like the art and charm of the original Gosu more. But ultimately, they're both good games, but neither one is like a must-have for me. They're interesting in the sense that you can feel stuck sometimes in what you're doing, but you can have incredibly powerful turns. But Gosu can be a lot of fun. Brian, hey James and Nat. David, I'll be at PAX. James, quick trip from Megs. Joe, I saw you at PAX last year. Robbie, got my son Marvel Champions base set for Christmas. Any recommendations for expansions to get? Any? I mean, so there are, if you want to play at Legacy, if you want to play the campaign, there are some expansions that'll give you a campaign to go through. I love Marvel Champions. I don't play it as much as I should, which is a shame. It's a crying shame. This is in Shrink. Why is it in Shrink? Because I've opened so many of the expansions, but I haven't opened all of them because I have so much Marvel Champions content, it's obnoxious. I finally stopped buying it. I finally have become a responsible human being, and I'm no longer buying one game that I don't need. Other games that I don't need is a different story. Kilnor, morning all. Nat, I'm so ready for my flights to be cancelled, delayed again, like every domestic flight I've taken so far. I know some people who've had bad luck with flights, and it sounds like you're one of them. I fly a lot these days, and I've had like close calls, but I've yet to have an actual issue that I can think of. I haven't had any real delays. Nothing that had me like missing a transfer. I've had delayed flights that were annoying, but like if it's not a transfer, okay, fine, I get there 2 hours late. Nothing crazy. I mean, I have had issues in the past, but since going board game stuff, I haven't had any issues. Joe, can you talk about some of your most anticipated games at PAX this year? No, genuinely, I can't. I got nothing. Not nothing, but I got very little that I'm excited about at PAX. So generally, Board Game Geek does a thing for most conventions where they have a first look kind of page on their site where they show you all the upcoming games. For PAX, they don't have an official one the way they do for the other things. Normally they have like hundreds of games you can sort through and find the ones that are most interesting. For PAX, they're kind of like, here's a separate thread that's not officially tied to BGG that kind of has like 70 games that you might be excited for. The problem is, usually out of like 500 games, I can pick 20 that I'm excited about. Out of 70, I can pick 4. There's Evacuation. I would love to play Evacuation. Moon Rollers will be there from Ivy Games, but I've already played Moon Rollers, so less excited there. There's, what else is there? There's a game, I can't remember the name of it. It was on Kickstarter recently. It's kind of, it was compared to Azul. It's like an abstract game about like puzzling together pieces. I don't remember the name of it. It looked not great visually to me. I wasn't pulled in visually, but mechanically it looked interesting. So there's that. There's a game Thinker Themer. Really liked, but I can't remember at all what it's called. So there's like 5 games I'm half excited for. I'm sure that will change once I'm there. Once I'm there and I see things, I'm sure that they're just doing a bad job advertising what there is to be excited about. But like for Essen, I didn't go, but I was excited about stuff at Essen. For Gen Con, I was excited. For Origins, I was excited. For PAX, I was not at all excited. Like, I'm excited to see my friends. I'm excited to find things to do. I'm excited to see both, like, you know, content creator friends, publisher friends, any friends I have. I'm excited to see them. I'm excited to see people. But I'm not currently that excited for games. Evacuation might be the game I'm most excited for. I don't know. I'm excited, what's it called? Cascadia. They now have Cascadia Roll Rights coming out. I don't think they're at PAX, but I'm excited about that. I'm more excited about the thing I saw on Instagram this morning than the things going on at PAX. So, sorry that I'm not upset. I'm genuinely not upset. I'm so excited for PAX. I just think PAX is doing a bad job right now managing why you should be excited about the games that are there. This year, I don't think they've done a good job at having people excited. Because every time I've talked to people about this, they can come up with like 4 games they care about. So I don't know if it's just a lack of games or bad advertising, but I think PAX is doing a bad job this year presenting why you should be excited for the new stuff. Hey Brian, Nat, it's pressed that AA managed to cancel my flight back 1 month ago. Now that's efficiency. That is efficiency. Professor Meg, Alex, what's a genre of games you think others should explore more? Roll and write, etc. Meg, there's Wi-Fi in the basement? Interesting. I have to fix that. Anyways, what's the genre of games you think others should explore more? Ooh, interesting. A genre of games I think others should explore more. I don't think you should explore Euros more. I don't think you should explore Dungeon Crawlers more. Meaning, if you're interested in them, you're interested in them. But, like, would I inherently just say, hey, explore this genre more? I don't think so. Maybe... there's 2 possible options I can give. There's trick-taking and party games. Because I think those are categories that are easy to write off, and they're worth trying different items within the category, because some can be real hit or miss. Like, you can play 10 party games and not have one land, but then you play another one and you're like, wow, where's the crypto been all my life? Like, you can have that kind of experience. I think with trick-taking as well. I think within the category of Euros and Dungeon Crawlers and other things like that, and Polyominoes, like, they're a little bit more standard. Either you like them or you don't, to a certain extent. Hi Meg, hi Meg, hi Meg, hi Meg. Have you a chance to try Scholars of the South Tigris yet? No, I have not. I hope to be playing it at Level Up. Level Up Retreat will have copies of Scholars of the South Tigris in our Hot Games room. They'll also have copies of Scholars of the South Tigris in our Play to Win, so if you want to go to Level Up Retreat, make sure to go ahead and go to Level Up Retreat. It'll be February 2nd to February 4th in New Jersey, and we'll have a bunch of hot games, a bunch of prototypes, a bunch of Play to Wins, a whole entire miniature wargaming tournament, a ton of things, RPG creators, special guests, all those fun things. This is your standard plug for Level Up Retreat, which I'll be hosting in February 2nd to 4th. In Woodbridge, New Jersey. Let's see. Come on, coming to Gamefound. This you're doing? I mean, depends how you define you're doing. So, lots of games have just showed up at Gamefound. There's 8 new titles that we announced in our most recent Feast event, including Last Light reprint, including Come On, including more stuff from Dwarven Forge, Master of the Universe reprint, including, I don't know, Robot Quest Arena. There's like 8 new games that are showing up. We've announced are coming to Gamefound in 2023-2024. There's also more. There's also more we haven't talked about yet. But I can't tell you all the fun things that are coming. I can just tell you that there are fun things coming. There are lots of campaigns, lots of creators who are signed up for the platform. As far as is it my doing, the short version is a big part of my role at Gamefound is chasing these creators and trying to... We have a team, we have a marketing team, we have a development team, marketing team, account managers, all those things. I'm part of sales. My job is to basically go ahead and talk to large creators and show them all the data as to why Gamefound likely is a better fit for your project. Or in some cases, to say it's not and stick with Kickstarter, at least right now. A big thing that I do is I want to get people when I think they're going to be happy with the result. Because then you get them for 10 campaigns, and otherwise you get them for 1 campaign, they're disappointed, they go back to Kickstarter for the next 10 campaigns. So yeah, you want it to be a very big... The term you have is product market fit. That's the technical term, where you basically have a good fit of your product and the market for your product. So that's basically what I do. And that does mean I've chased Gamefound, and I've chased Come On. I've chased Come On, and I've been a part of the conversations, but Come On is large enough that there were multiple people involved in that chasing. So not fully my doing, but I'm sure I had a part to play in that. But there's lots more coming. So we'll just say there's lots of large creators are coming to Gamefound. That's all I'm saying. Nat, maybe the games were all of the friends we made along the way. No, Nat, those are just friends. Friends are awesome. Friends are great. Friends make bad comparisons sometimes, but I still love you. Omega Rocker, just got my Marvel Zombies Kickstarter. You tipped me over the edge on it. I'm having a blast with it, so thank you. Well, as long as you're having a blast with it, then I'm grateful. One of the things that's interesting about being a content creator is I do have an impact on people. If I like something, if I encourage something, if I'm hyped about something, that does have an impact. It also means that I'm always like mindful of when my impact doesn't have the right impact. So like examples would be like Wild Descent is a good example of a game that I know the way I feel about Wild Descent is not the same way that everyone else does. Meaning I think it's rated like a 7.1 or something like that on Board Game Geek. And a big part of that is the rulebook, which is terrible. I have the luxury of learning it without having to, like, I had the designer on call to help me teach it. And I did talk about in my review how the rulebook is bad, but I still feel bad that I'm like, this game's a 5 out of 5, and people will buy it, and then some will love it, and others will be let down by it. And so I always feel bad about that responsibility, but I still have to give you my opinion. But at the same time, once I learn that my opinion is deferred from the norm, I usually qualify that. I quantify that. I usually sit there and say, by the way, I love Wild Descent. Also, just so you know, not everyone does, so like, take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, but I like it when people buy things that I'm excited about and they love it, like For Northwood, DEI, Expeditions. When you play some of the games that are amazing that I've loved this year and you get those and you love them, good. I'm glad I had an impact. And when you buy them and they're terrible, I'm sorry. First of all, greetings from Germany to the best board game channel. Aw, shucks, Wander, I appreciate you. It's a bit difficult to follow because your narrative speed is quite fast. That is a me problem. That is a me problem. It's just one that I don't focus on changing it as much as I probably should, because every time I slow down, I have people who are like, no, you're the only channel I don't have to watch on 2 times speed. And so I'm like, well, if I'm making some people happy, some people unhappy, where do I go? Also, it's the only way I can keep up with doing an hour-long 2-back, not to back in an hour, not 2 hours. It's the only way I can keep up with all the chat and not be like 3 hours behind. So I can slow down. I know how to. I just have to mentally be cognizant of my talking speed the entire time. And as soon as I drop that mental cognizance of my talking speed, then it will slowly start to pick up. People have noticed this. When I occasionally go into slow mode on a live show, on a chat, whatever, at some point when I'm done with the slow mode, you'll notice that it's slowly creeping back in. It's like I have to constantly hold myself back or it drifts too fast. A question for the channel. At the end, you often state what points you would award for a game. I think it'd be cool if you include that in your videos too. They are included. Do you mean, when you say included in the videos, do you mean like a visual aspect of it? Like a visual overlay? Like, hey, by the way, it's a 3.5 out of 5. And do you mean like visual? Because I'm including it in the videos. I'm saying it. You might mean visually. Because I just don't really understand what acoustically on the language, as I said. Oh yeah, that's what you're saying. So yes, that is something I would love to do. There are a few things I would love to do in 2024, and that means there were a few things I would have loved to do in 2023 and I didn't get to them. One of those things is I'd love to do BoardGameCo awards. Like, hey, the same way Dice Tower has Seal of Excellence, or, the Shut Up and Sit Down, recommends, whatever it is. I would love to have two awards for BoardGameCo. One that I give to games that are 5 out of 5s. That happens like, 3 to 6 times a year. It depends on the year, but it happens like, happens a certain number of times per year. And then the games that are and I haven't decided yet, for the other award, it's either a 4 and 4.5, or just 4.5. But I think I would do 4 and 4.5. 3.5 would not get the stamp. And so I almost want to have like a BoardGameCo Recommends, which is a 4 and a 4.5, and BoardGameCo is in love with, that's not the title of it, which is a 5. I want to have 2 awards that I'd be able to like give out to games, and that would show up on the screen as a stamp and all that, and people can put on the box they want, all that stuff. I really want to get that done. I'm long overdue on it. I need to make it happen in 2024. Just life is busy, so there's that. And then putting numbers on the screen, that's also been on my list for a while. I need to reach out to somebody. I should probably talk to somebody on Fiverr and just reach out and get somebody in play. Basically, I need to get graphical assets that would be easy for me to plug into each video. Like, I can't be custom doing things every single time. I just need like a little clip and segment that can be like, boom, here's the score. I have to have a template that makes it really easy. But if I do, I would love to make that happen. I think that is an important part of, I think it's good. I think it's good. Professor Meg, hello. Ichabod's Nerd, hello. I just had some friends cancel on a game day Saturday I was looking forward to. I'm currently in my bitter phase, waiting for the acceptance to settle in before I respond to them. I get that. So something I do, and something I've been doing for... Life has changed since being a content creator, but what I used to do in the years that I had game night, I had game night for, I want to say 6 years straight before doing content, and then content and COVID shifted up my game night schedule. But for 6 years straight, I had game night every single Thursday night without fail. That's not true. I missed like twice a year for like, travel or whatever it is. But twice a year I'd miss. But like, for the most part, I had game night every single Thursday. And a thing I did that helped me is there was game night every single Thursday. Now, either you showed up or I played solo. But there was game night every single Thursday. It doesn't matter if you showed up or not. So I didn't have to rely on my friends. Now, most of the time there was game night. Most of the time it happened. But the times it didn't, I pulled out Spirit Island and I played Spirit Island. What's the big deal? That's my game night. This is my game night and I'm playing game night. So that is something that I recommend. I think it's a good idea. But obviously if you don't play solo games, it's a little harder. Did you do a breakdown of Marvel Zombicide of what each expansion adds similar to what you did for Deceased? If so, can you remember the title of the video? So almost certainly, if I did, it would be called Should You Back Marvel Zombicide? Marvel Zombies. Should you back Marvel Zombies? That's what it would be. I don't know if I did it to the same level. I won at some point along the way with the Command campaigns, in my final Should You Back It, because a big thing that's different, evolution of the channel as it were, is originally I used to do Should You Back videos at the beginning of the campaign. I'd have a very beginning of the campaign, should you back Marvel Zombies, in like day 2, which is great. It's good for views, by the way, because people click on it when it's like, oh my gosh, we want to find out. The problem is it's not comprehensive information. And so something I've noticed, the thing that is, I want to say it's true for a lot of the channels in the board game space, is to a certain extent when you're a smaller channel, you have to chase the things that get you those extra views, because otherwise how will people pay attention to you? But then as you grow, you have the luxury of being able to prioritize the quality of the content over the chasing of the views, if that makes sense. Because as you grow, you already have an audience, you already have people on board. And so as time has shifted, I've moved away from having Should You Back It's in day 1, day 2, when it's the best for views, but the worst for your actual complete information, and I've shifted it to doing it at the end. I don't remember whether Marvel Zombies was before or after that shift. So Should You Back It for Marvel Zombies, that's the thing. So I might have done an update video. So search for just BoardGameCo Marvel Zombies, and just search for something that like looks like a Should You Back It or update or whatever it is. Because if I did an update video, then I might have. So that's the short answer. Not that short. Caesar, regards from Mexico, the land of tacos and mariachi. Yeah, I haven't been to Mexico. I should go sometime. Nat, not a genre, but I'm playing a lot more solo games recently because, oh, solo. That's a genre everyone should play more of, yeah. I think solo is worth experimenting. If you're not someone who's experimented with the solo, there's a few games you should try out that would give you a sense or feel as to whether it's you. I highly recommend Under Falling Skies for like a light intro game. 20 Strong is a solid solo game. Honestly, if you watch my 10 best solo games of all time video that I did 7 months ago, there's a good mix in there. 4 Northwood. I think people should try different weight classes of solo. Like, you might play 4 Northwood and not feel it's meaty enough, and then you'll play Spirit Island and be like, oh, this is where, like Spirit Island for me was the game that pushed me into solo. So yeah, try a few different weight classes of solo and get a sense of whether it works for you or not. Wanderers, or a short summary of what I like and what I don't like in bullet points. You mean, I assume you mean on the screen. That one's harder. I've debated doing that. That one would have to be more customized per video, and with the amount of videos I do and the amount I'm pushing myself as it is, that one's harder. So I'm not saying never to that one, but I might need more of a team on board or whatnot. Hi Alex, hope you're doing well. Speaking of roll-em-right, what's your top 3 roll-em-right games? So, do not hold me to this. Like, really, genuinely, do not hold me to this because I'm doing it off the cuff. I'm not thinking it through in that detail. But I would say That's Pretty Clever still holds up. Hadrian's Wall has been going down for me, actually. Hadrian's Wall, I feel it's too... We'll talk about some other time. That's Pretty Clever. Gone Strong Clever, I think, is going to be one of my best roll-em-right games. I also think, let me look at my shelf up there. Oh, Welcome to the Moon will give you an amazing selection of 8 different games in a single box. I think it's fantastic. Railroad Ink, do I do Railroad Ink or do I do Fleet the Dice game or... No, I think Fleet the Dice game you're getting in that. So if I'm picking 3, not necessarily best, but 3 good ones that I'd highly recommend, Railroad Ink, That's Pretty Clever, and Welcome to the Moon. Those are the ones I'm going to go ahead with. Jason Brown, Eye of Zamorak has moved to Gamefound. Ooh, good to know. Lots of things have moved to Gamefound. Nat, I think these creators just go to Backgate instead, to be honest. Nat, you're a troll. Sarcasm. I like how you added sarcasm because not everyone here knows who you are and what you are, which is a troll. How is Gamefound Feast different from a normal campaign? So, good question. The Gamefound Feast is not a campaign itself. The Gamefound Feast is a press announcement. Why is it called Feast? I have no idea. Would I have ever called it Feast? No, but I wasn't part of Gamefound when that decision was being made. And it might be just a language terminology thing. Like, the Gamefound is, like, they're more Polish originally, so there might be whatever reason, the Gamefound Feast was, like, the idea of is, like, you have all these things, and, I don't know, wouldn't have been my terminology. But effectively, it is a marketing event where we prioritize a bunch of campaigns that we think have a broader level of interest, and we highlight them in a single press announcement. The goal of it, effectively, is, you know, a single game joining Feast is not a press announcement most of the time. But if you have a bunch of them, if you have a bunch of larger titles, it becomes a worthwhile announcement and gives more hype and buzz. It's just good marketing for the campaigns involved and for Gamefound. But the actual campaign is not different. James, I recently started getting some print-and-play games like Waypoints, one that I really like. Of course, you have to actually print and play them. That has been my bane. I don't print and play them. I like them in theory. Ajumu, English is not my first language, but I like the way you talk. I appreciate it. Thank you. Jason, are the Gamefound Feast games announced yesterday, are those campaigns all expected to follow in a certain period? For example, Q1 2024. Great question, Jason. No, I'm behind in chat by now. I must be behind in chat. No, Jason, they are not. They're not inherently in any specific period. Generally, we encourage people to have their campaign at least a month away from when the pre-launch page goes up. Best practice on Gamefound to gather followers. We recommend at least a month out. But then we also recommend not more than a year out, because at a certain point, your campaign's just sitting there as a page that people once upon a time were excited about, and then as time goes on, they aren't, or they're less excited. Like, who knows Sanko Shushin? Are you still excited about that one? And the answer for some people is going to be yes. The answer for others is going to be like, no, I've heard about Sanko Shushin for 3 years now. I've moved on. I've mentally moved on from the game that I haven't even seen. That does happen. That happens in Gamefound as well. I'm incredibly excited about Dante, but it's also been up there for so long as a pre-launch page. So, in general, we recommend not more than a year. I would say the ideal recommendation is between 1 to 6 months from the Feast announcement, because we do Feast announcements every, 3 months or so just wait for the next one. But plans change, things happen, campaigns get extended, they hold off the next one, so things like Dante's pushed off because they wanted Chronicles of Drunagar Apocalypse to arrive first, which kudos to them. So, 1 to 6 months is the range we would recommend for when the Feast goes up. Caesar, I just bought Wrath of Ashardalon and got 3D printed walls for it. They have torches with flickering effect LED lights. That does sound great. It's Brody. Are you enjoying Divinity board game? Also, you take a peek at my soundscape narration for it. I have not taken a peek. I mean, I got your email. First of all, thank you. I got your email. I did look at it. It's Brody. Weird question. It's Brody doesn't recommend random gaming snippets, video game snippets on Facebook, do you? It's a weird random question, but I've been getting a lot of random Facebook recommended gaming snippets, all like from video games, and I feel like it's Brody's the title I saw, but maybe not. Anyways, Divinity. I got your email, thank you. I took a look at it briefly, yes, but we didn't use it yet for any of the stuff. I hope to dive into it at some point, and as far as enjoying Divinity, I like Divinity currently, with the caveat that I need to play more to see, like, is it good right now? Is it good, 10 missions in? Right now, I'm enjoying it. Like, right now, Meg and I talked about, do we want to keep playing it, which is a conversation we have whenever we're doing, especially paid content, but, like, do we want to keep playing it? And the short answer is, for right now, yes. Are we going to film it? We don't know yet. We'll find out, but we hope to dive into it more. BoardGameCo, high five. Nat, open invitation game night for friends and coworkers is a really good idea, actually. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, that's what I did for. What I found a long time ago, and I've said this before in videos, I should say it more often. I found a long time ago that if you try to plan a game night, it takes forever to make it happen. If you simply say, Thursday night is game night, period. And then I send out an email every week. I mean, not anymore. Again, my life has changed a little bit in terms of the way I do things now. I still have regular game night, just whatever. But at the time, for years, every week, on Tuesday, I sent an email saying who's coming this week. And anyone is allowed to ask. The rules were pretty simple. We had a list of like the list was around 20 people. But on a given week, we'd get between 3 to 7 people. And the rules were, if you commit, we'll make sure you're playing the game. If you don't commit by Thursday morning, because the game was Thursday night, I sent the email Tuesday. If you don't commit by Thursday morning, you can ask, and if we can include you, we will, but there's no guarantees. If I've already prepped and told people to like play to read the rules and prep for a game, and that game only accommodates 5 and you're number 6, if you didn't commit early enough, tough nuggets. And so that was the rule. We just had Tuesday email, Thursday morning to commit. After that, you can ask, and then game that's happening regardless. Don't show up, that's fine. People who backed out, there was only one person over the course of the years. There's only one person I kind of had to basically sternly warn, because they'd regularly commit and then flake. And I was like, dude, everyone's prepping for a certain game and you're flaking on a regular basis. Like, you have to be chill. You have to like let things go wrong here and there. But regularly having things go wrong, and I was like, dude, you're messing up other people's time. So he got a talking to. But I like talking to. But either way, yeah, the regular game night, I highly recommend it. Wanderers, do you think there are games and publishers that release things that are self-sustaining no matter how good or bad the games are? E.g. the author Lazerda or publisher Mindclash Games. I don't think anything is guaranteed to be self-sustaining, although that might be a language terminology. I think anything Mindclash puts out will get some degree of success on Kickstarter. It may not get reprinted or have that much buzz once it lands, but there's obviously a degree of reputation that can make a thing get buzz and attention just from launching. But once it lands, it lands. Like, Lacerda has better and worse games. Lacerda put out, Mercado de Lisboa. That's a game no one cares about. No one cares about Mercado de Lisboa. By the way, it's actually not bad. It's fun, but it's not amazing. There's better games. Mindclash, they put out... I've seen mixed reviews on Septima. For me, I know I was mixed in it. I've seen a lot of people who are mixed on Septima who are like, it's good, it's not great. So I think that the initial campaign, sure, down the road, different conversation. Mike, people don't want information that's silly, they prefer the hype. That's true, Mike. That is true. It's a hard conversation because, like, let's say game reviews. Okay, game reviews are a relevant conversation. Do you know the best game review? The best game review is when you've had it in your collection for a year, you've played it at a variety of player counts, at a variety of different types, a variety of times, and you've had time to let the hype settle. So the best game reviews, the most efficiently information and all that, is a year later. Do you know when people are making their purchasing decisions? Not a year later. Like, it doesn't matter if I play the game 7 times. If I play the game 7 times, because it goes both directions. Sometimes I play a game a bunch of times to get a review in, and then I give the review and I'm like, it got a little old quickly. Well, yeah, it got old quickly. I played it 7 times in a week. What did you expect? But if I don't play the game 7 times in a week, then I might take too long to get the review out. So, like, if I play it once a week and it's a game that requires more whatever, it's a different conversation. There's no good way to give information that is both accurate and true and timely. You kind of have to pick a lane. Unfortunately, the best kind of information would be a year down the road, which is why I firmly believe that the best way for you to purchase games is not any review. Ignore every single review. Stop watching my reviews. Stop watching everyone's reviews. Instead, just focus on top 10 lists. I think that is the best way to get information because a top 10 list is less focused on the right here, right now. They're usually more over time, so the games have settled a bit more. And they're not like, oh my gosh, this game's pretty good, buy this game. They're like, no, this is the best in this category we've decided on. The best roll and writes, the best games of all time. My top 100 of all time, that is the best recommendation list you can get from me. Not the games I put out every single week. Same with Dice Tower, same with anyone. Those are the best ways to buy games. But you're right, people want to know whether they should purchase the new Scythe game or whatever, the new Stonemaier game. So that is what it is. Quasi-style of a substance or name of substance. See you at PAX, indeed. Wanda was, again, before, yes, a visual display would be great on the channel. I think you wouldn't get native speakers on board like me. Yeah, I agree with you, to an extent. I mean, I think there's something I can do. Interesting, LMS is using their own pledge manager for NAR, Nova AS Renaissance. I wonder how effective it is for them. That is interesting. That is interesting indeed. I think it's a mistake, by the way. On a separate note, I think it's a mistake. Effectively, give me 1 second to blow my nose here. But there's a lot of times and reasons to use one platform over another, or use one thing over another. I think, historically speaking, using your own pledge manager over something like Gamefound, or Backgift for that matter, that's not even a Gamefound thing, I think the perks aren't worth it. You saved the 5%, sure, congratulations. But if you lose 5% traffic, was it worth it? And so I think you lose more than 5% traffic. So I think it's a mistake, but obviously I am biased. But again, even Backkit or anything. But all my guitars, I couldn't do Spirit Island. Maybe I should try for Northwood. Try for Northwood. Again, I think it's a weight. Everyone's gonna have their own preferred weight class. I think Trailblazers, 4 Northwood, 20 Strong, Spirit Island, Under Falling Skies. There's so many great games out there. Jason Brown, Spirit Island is great solo. Yes, it is. Srebme, Nat, thanks for the reminder of the live. Srebme, every single Wednesday, without fail, ever, never ever have I missed a Wednesday live stream. Never, ever. Aaron Taylor, love 20 Strong. Hopefully I'll get to see you at PAX. Hopefully indeed. Brian, Srebme, Nat, the true reminder hero. Still waiting for my copy of 20 Strong. I recently picked up Oathsworn. Would you recommend waiting to get some game group or trying it solo? I like Oathsworn better with a game group. I like it solo. I like it better with people. So different games have different places where they fall for me. Like Tenaris Adventures, the beginning of the contest, I like it better solo. I've played with other people. I find the mental math, I enjoy it more solo. Marvel Champions, it's good both. I prefer it more solo. But I think Oathsworn, I've played it solo, and I like it more with other people. One, I'm intrigued that Command is doing Master Universe on Gamefound. Should we expect other future Command campaigns to be on Gamefound? I'm trying to think what I can say or not say without getting in trouble. I guess I'll just say, I make no guarantees. That's all I'll say. Ken, I am playing solo and loving it. I would give Oathsworn a go. Wanda was, do you think the publishers are slowly dying out when you see 11 Greek games that are floundering or I don't know 11 Greek games, or Holy Grail games that haven't survived at all? Has the zenith of publishing now been reached? No. What I think happened is, I think that publishers who want to be in the board game space are willing to push themselves further than they should to be in the board game space. No different than me. I took a giant pay cut to do this because I love what I do. And so people do that all the time. They make decisions to do what they love, and that includes being in board game publishing. The problem with that is other people's money is hooked into your decision, which is a bit trickier. But effectively, what I think happened, I'm not an expert, but I do know a fair amount about the industry. I think to a large extent what happened is that a lot of publishers charged less than they should to have comfortable margins of errors. And then COVID hit, and the pandemic hit, and everyone got pushed a little further, which works just fine. The supply chains can take it. When you're making 50% on your, chip for your PlayStation, when you're making 50% margins on that, you can take the difference in supply lines. A big thing that happened with the COVID container crisis is that effectively technology companies were able to pay the increased costs on those containers because they're like, whatever, we're making plenty of money. We don't like making less money, but we have the margins to sustain paying $20,000 for a container that used to cost $4,000. And the board game companies were like, you either have to pay more or you'll never see your game because we didn't have those margins baked in. And so I think to a large extent you had publishers who were pushed, and not just the containers, shipping, the cost of materials, every single decision. COVID pushed a lot of people just too far when they didn't have the margins built in to deal with that. And so the question is, what will we see going forward? How many publishing companies will we see going forward? And that's interesting because the ones that become, I don't know, I think a lot of it is still directly related to COVID and not having margins built in. Some of it is related to bad decision making and hoping one campaign will pay for the next one again and again and again and again. Even in those situations, even when you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, I mean, as long as you can keep doing it forever, is it that big a deal? And the answer is COVID came along like a smack in the back of your head and said, no, you can't keep doing this forever. Good luck and goodbye. So COVID's a big answer for everything in terms of just the way the world changed around it. It's Brody. No, not me. Good to know. Wanderers, I'm behind. Otherwise, keep it going. Don't forget you have to play around with your glass more often. It looks a bit more like a professor. Play around like, oh, do you like just, it's like, well, I don't know what you mean by play around. Do you mean where they are on my face or just literally fidgeting with them? So Redmi, when are we getting a video of your most anticipated games at PAX U? So Redmi, you should have been here at the beginning. That I don't have a list of anticipated games at PAX U. I just don't. I'm not excited about PAX U games right now. Evacuation. That's my list. There we go. I'm excited about Evacuation. I had a little rant at the beginning of the video, but effectively I said I think PAX U has done a terrible job advertising what games are actually there because the 70 or so games I've talked about is just not enough for me to be excited. I'm excited about 3 of them. That's not a list. That's not a video I'm going to make. Wanderers, can you pitch something about what we can expect on the channel in 2024? Otherwise, great greetings again. The best channel of the board games. Thank you, Wanderers. I appreciate it. 2024. What's coming for the channel? I don't have a firm idea. I actually plan on doing a state of the channel video. I'm hoping it'll go up December 9th because that was the first day I ever did a video. Was December 9th. So I'm hoping to do a state of the channel video every single year. It's something that Stone Mountain Games does. I've done updates here and there. I haven't had a consistent state of the channel, and I'd love to do that and talk about what things have changed over the past year. This past year has seen changes. We brought Devin and Meg on board, and then Devin was doing the previews and Meg was more in the background, and Devin shifted to Lucky Duck, and now Meg's taking over the previews. So even just in terms of my friends or the people I work with, has been big change on the channel in that sense. BoardGameCo has done a lot more paid content this year. We went from doing 0 paid content like for 3 years straight to a lot of paid content now. But again, this will all be things in the, well, lots relative. Still, the vast majority of our videos are unpaid, but more paid content. I plan on doing a state of the channel video, talking about the things that have changed over the past year, talking about the things I'd like to change going forward, and some of those things will happen, and some will not. Electric Pandasol Gaming. Good sir, I'm a newbie in board games and planning to buy Zombicide because I watched your videos. I have 3 options right now. Secondhand Zombicide, first edition with all expansions, Black Plague, and Green Horde, which is good. That's a whole lot. That's a whole video it could be on itself. I like Black Plague a lot. I recommend that far more than second edition. The tricky part, especially considering you're saying you're a newbie in board gaming, is I think second edition is more accessible and Black Plague is more punishing. If you don't mind losing a lot while you figure out how to get good at the game, Black Plague, 100% the way I'd recommend it. Versus if you just want something fun where you can just smash zombies across the board as you pick up the intricacies of the difficulty, second edition's fine. I just didn't find it difficult enough, which is my concern with it. Nat, Warp's Edge is a top tier solo game. I liked Warp's Edge, like I do. Genuinely liked it. Didn't love it. I got rid of it eventually, but I did like it. I thought it was very clever. Successful. Hey all, I'm very late. Just got back from Iran. Time to watch at 2 times speed to catch up. Oh boy, successful. You're going to catch up. Krovax, thanks Ken Costin, appreciate the insight. Rasek, Unmatched The Witcher was announced. Unmatched The Witcher was announced coming next year. Oh, is it? Like Unmatched having The Witcher? Are they going to make it full co-op? Please make it full co-op, that'd be fun. Baldip Burgle, do you prefer Deceased over Marvel Zombies? Can you tell us? I can absolutely tell you. No, I don't prefer Deceased over Marvel Zombies, with a small, tiny caveat. I prefer hero mode to zombie mode. So if you're talking about Marvel Zombies, I prefer hero mode so much more than zombie mode. Like so much more. Zombie mode's great, but I'd rather play Black Plague. Hero mode is where it's at for me. And Deceased is all hero mode. So effectively it's the same game. Where I do like Deceased so far is the difficulty in Deceased has been top notch. It's also very difficult in Marvel Zombies. I've lost Marvel Zombies plenty too, so more specifically in the hero mode again. So I think it's very scenario dependent. Deceased does have more equipment, and Marvel Zombies are characters I resonate a bit more because I've watched the whole MCU and all that. So I'd say that it's about par. I don't think I have a strong recommendation for one over the other. I think it comes down to the heroes you prefer. That's what it comes down to. And if you want zombie mode, obviously, then get Marvel Zombies. I bought the game Oathsworn because of Alex. It was a good call for me. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Ken. Nah, but you know now if I get Zombicide 367th edition, Alex, I can't wait till it shows up in the top 100. You shouldn't get... with a title like that, you shouldn't get it. Juan Frost, smooth response to the command question. I hope they do switch permanently because I much prefer Gamefound. Yeah, Juan, it's always tricky when you when you have secret information, okay, you have secret information behind the scenes, it's always very easy to, well, not easy, it's always very tricky to manage because I don't avoid questions. I don't. Sometimes people just solve this problem by not answering certain questions. I will engage with every single thing. If I miss it, it's a mistake, and ask again, and I'll try to respond. I will tell you if I'm not answering. I'll say that. I'll be like, hey, I'm not answering that question. I just don't want to get into it. I'll say that. But I think it's tricky because no matter what you do, people will read into things. It is very hard. If I say no to come on having more campaigns on Gamefound, people will read in. Actually, I guess the direct answer people wouldn't read into. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the answer I said before. We'll see what happens. Joe, curious what were you doing before content creation? Oh, Joe, I was a CMO, not CMO, I'm CMO now. I was COO, Chief Operating Officer, for a company called 1-to-1 E-commerce. We built Magento websites. Magento is an e-commerce platform. This resulted in a particularly amusing moment way back in Marvel United, where I was talking about Marvel United, or Marvel Zombies, I think Marvel United though, and I was like, oh, we have Magento over here, because I said Magento 3,000 times a day, and I said Magneto 0 times a day. And so when I was talking about Magneto in a video, I said Magento, which resulted in a hilarious moment for a lot of viewers who were like, did you just call him Magento like 3 times in the video? And I was like, yes, but you don't have the background information that I say Magento a lot and I don't say Magneto ever. That's a little background, a deep dive into some fun little moments. But that's what I did. I did that for 7 years. Before that, I did purchasing for a food and medical supplies distribution company. I program, by the way. I code a lot, so I've built systems for both those companies that I don't know. I know one of them moved away from it once I left, and the other one I think still uses some. But yeah, so I've done coding, purchasing, and then general operations for an e-commerce company for 7 years. Frankie, have you tried any expansions for Divided Impera? No, I want to. I love the game. I just haven't felt the need to dive into expansions. Good evening, my sir. How are you? D Trooper, I'm doing great. By the way, we're going to wrap this up probably by 2:10 because I need to head out and buy supplies for PAX. So, Ajimu, Alex, do you have any recommendations for the first Too Many Bones core game set? I already have 2 gear locks for reasons. I'm struggling to decide between Undertow or Unbreakable. So, I would go with Undertow because that's how and where I fell in love with the system. So I'm trying to mirror my experience. But I think Unbreakable might be better, but I just know one of them was my intro to the system that made me fall in love with it. So I have to go with the thing that worked for me as opposed to the thing that probably will work for you better. Nat, who are the most anticipated people leaving at PAX U, not including us? I mean, isn't that a conversation that gets me in trouble? Okay, I mean, so first of all, offhand, Devin, Jenna, Meg, and Chris George, those 4 people are amongst some of my favorite people in general. You know, just those 5, including me, like us 5 as a group of people, I really enjoy all of them quite a bit. In terms of publishers, there's a lot of people who I like hanging out with. The Steamforged crew I like a lot. I don't think the ones who I usually am the most friendly with are there this year, so we'll have to see about that. You know, Chip Theory Games, always appreciate them. IV Games, I like them a lot. There's a whole host of tons of people. I like this space a lot. I like the people in this space a lot. There's a lot. And then you, obviously not. You. Aaron Taylor, I really want to back Nemesis Retaliation, but I need to see gameplay. Not sure I'll get the table I like, but my game group got sick of it after we played Untold Stories. Isn't there already like 2 or 3 gameplays of the game? I'll have one for you as well, but soon, probably. But I think there's already a bunch. Petrified, very late, but finally got off a meeting to join. Hello, Petrified, how's it going? Ichabod's Nerd, we don't have regular game nights. Usually it's just husband and me, so it's a treat to play with more people. But yes, games will be played this Saturday regardless. Good. Yorachi, Tim Chun, oh, happy almost anniversary for the channel, Alex. Looking forward to 12/9. Thanks, Tim, I appreciate it. How are you doing? Grunge Life, Yoracha, Tim, Mike, do you have any ideas to change? Do you have any ideas to change how or what is possible within content creation? No. A long time ago, when I was a young whippersnapper, I had lots of ideas of what could be different in content creation. And the more time went on, the more I realized that Dice Tower kind of nails it all. Like, there were so many things I thought were better ways to do things, and I think a lot of things work in shorter time frames. A lot of things work without the context of audience feedback. I think Dice Tower has done a great job of really nailing a good combination and blend of just content creation and how to manage everything about it. I'm not saying you can't innovate. I'm sure you can, but it's a lot of my ideas I found over time that I was like, you know, I think Dice Tower's got it better. I think they have a better way of approaching it. Borgen Garden, hello, Jenna. I won't be at PAX, Sally. Tim. Electric, thank you, sir. I'm always a follow of your videos ever since I got into board games 3 months ago because of Unmatched and Star Realms. Awesome. Enjoy. Are you backing the new Star Realms campaign? All the new shiny foil stuff? Sean, hi, Olive. I've been playing Earthburn Rages solo and co-op, and it's brilliant at both. Alex, have you or the team tried it out? I have not, but if they're at PAX, I will try to talk to them. Borgen Garden, hello, Petrified. Paniswell Gaming, welcome to the hobby. Prepare your wallet. Steve Owen, any advice for a first time at PAX? Steve, you've been at Origins. It's no different. I mean, it's different, but it's no different in terms of the practical realities of it. Petrified, is Moon Rollers really worth the $161 all in? Dear Lord, I don't know why I'm friends with Ivy Games. It's $161 for the all in? What are they doing? Gold-plated dice? How is Moon Rollers $161? What is happening here? What have I missed? So, I mean, does pack supplies equal kosher food? It just equals food in general. I mean, it will be kosher snacks, but it just means in general having... I like to get a bunch of stuff so that I'm not, like, you know, constantly feeling the need to just spend money on, like, whatever is $7 next to me, and I just have snacks around. Whether it's tortilla chips and salsa, whether it's seltzer, whether it's coffee. So I don't have to spend $7 on a coffee every single morning, and rather just some coffees. Electro Panel Gaming. I saw the price of good, sir, so I mean it's kind of expensive, but I'm selling my Nintendo Switch games collection. I got a hand injury and won't be able to play anymore, but board card games saved me. Aww, that's both sad and heartwarming in the same sentence. Board Game Garden, multiple smiley faces. Jenna, what's the planner company called again? My wife is looking to buy a planner for next year. I want to check yours out. Aw, that's sweet. Nat, will it get you in trouble? Is this high school? Sorry for asking, Alex. Wait, what will get me in trouble? What did I say? What did I say is going to get me in trouble? Are you referring to, like, spoilers and stuff? If you're referring to spoilers and things, then the idea of... So, if you work for a company, I think you're referring to, if you work for a company and you have hidden information, how do you address that in a way that doesn't... Because, here's the thing. Let's say you ask me a question about something happening at Gamefound. I can choose to ignore the question, which is an option, but I don't like doing that. I can choose to lie to you because it's secret information, and I don't like that because if... Let's say you say, hey, come on, join the platform for more games. And I say, no, it's just the one campaign, right? What if they are joining for 7 more campaigns? I've just lied to you to preserve the air of secrecy. I don't like that. That's I mean, I understand why I did it, but I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. What if I say yes, they are? But what if that's not my information to convey? What if they're joining us they have a secret 3-year agreement with Gamefound, they're going to join for all the campaigns. And so I say, yeah, that's the case. What if that's not information that's public yet? What if there's more nuance to it? So it's really, and the problem is any vague answer, when I say something like, hey, we'll find out together, inherently by saying we'll find out together, there's already that whole vague booking aspect of, just being vague. So, like, it's always hard to balance it, and I try to do the best I can, and it'll be. But when I say it gets you in trouble, you're either lying to your audience, the possibilities are lying to your audience, which feels like a betrayal of trust, even if there's a good reason for it, giving up secret information, which feels like you get in trouble for, or being vague, which feels lame. So I'll go with vague, because from those 3 options, that's the best one. Petrified, metal dice, dice tray, big box, neophene mat, Moonraker's expansion, sleeves, etc. Only IV can get away with that in a $30 game. Dear Lord, IV. Fun fact, I actually asked them earlier if they're going to have metal dice, and I thought they said they're not. So, I guess they did, because it felt like an IV Games thing to do. Yeah, that makes sense. I thought they were not doing the metal dice. I asked them. It felt like an IV Games thing. Nat, talking about who you're excited to meet at PAX is what I was referring to. Oh, okay. So, Nat, if you say, who are you excited to meet at PAX? And I say, Devin. And I don't say the other 5 people who I'm really good friends with, they might feel left out. So, yeah, it is high school. Because sometimes, I think the thing in life that's complicated is, I've said the thing when it comes to relationships, it's interesting. Because sometimes people are better friends with you than you are with them. And that's where the trouble occurs. Because the idea to you, Nat, you're a reasonable human being. I like you very much. I actively enjoy your company, and I can't wait to see you. I'm also better friends with Devin than you. I'm sorry, it's just true. It is what it is. But you and I can talk about that and respect that, and we both know what our relationship is, and we're all on the same page. Cue some comment from you about how you're heartbroken and betrayed, because that's your personality. But that's my personality too, but whatever. Anyway, so I think it's fine when you have that awareness. Where it's tricky is sometimes people don't always have the same level of understanding where a relationship is. Sometimes I think of you as this level friend, and you think of me as that level friend. And when I'm not saying nice things about you as much, you feel hurt and betrayed. I've seen that happen in life many times, unfortunately. You encounter enough people over time, and you will have times where you think you're better friends with somebody than they are with you, and vice versa. And that's where hurt can occur. And ideally, avoiding that hurt's better, but sometimes you ask questions like, who's your favorite person to see at PAX? And, suddenly, before you know it, someone's putting you on the ban list and they are forever betrayed by you. So, yeah, it's high school. Curious of the thoughts of Shadi, where are we? Curious of the thoughts of Shady Torby's latest Omniverse game, Siberian, and where it ranks amongst the late other Omniverse games. I haven't played it, so I can't answer that, unfortunately. But I did see it. John Vincent Archangel, message retracted. Those are always the best because I always wonder what you said. Like, what was it? What was so bad and tricky and negative? I don't know. Electric, what are your thoughts, good sir, about Tales to Amaze by Unmatched? I am excited to play it. I have not played it yet. Successful. Did vague booking term come up because of my conversation with George? So I'm familiar with the term vague booking in general. It almost certainly was more in my lexicon because of your conversation with George. So probably. Look at that. You're having an effect on me. Successful. Cohen Jewajans. Hi, Alex. Do you play Catacombs? No, sadly not. I have not. I think they're coming out with a new one on Gamefound, right? They have a new campaign coming on Gamefound at some point. But I never played Catacombs. I always saw it. I never saw enough hype and buzz of the people who loved it for me to dive into it. I always heard good things about it, but never great things about it. Notaro, Karak, Core Quest, Quest Kids, which of these would you recommend as the first dungeon crawler for a 5-year-old? They're 5. So, if they're 5, I think Quest Kids is the simplest and easiest to learn. The next step up for me would be Karak. I think it's very accessible. And Core Quest, I think, is the best, but it does often require either like an 8 or 9-year-old or an adult managing it a bit more. Successful Geek. I'm a better friend with Alex than he is with me. I prepped hard for Madara. You see? Nat, that's what I'm talking about. Now Successful upset at me. Nat, I understand this, Alex. I think I'm just too far along the autism spectrum to have considered the social impact. Oh, Nat, you want a story? Because again, I'm here. I'm here with you on the autism spectrum. I mean, I just refer to it as being a robot with no feelings. I used to have, everyone ready for this? This is like a deep dive, okay? Once upon a time, I had a list of my friends, and I ranked them as to what level friend they were. I had 3 rankings: the best, the good, and the okay. I had this for a whole bunch of reasons. There was a reason I had this list, but I had a list. There was a Trello board where I ranked this list as far as just who my friends were and what they were. And that was meaningless to me. Like, why is it a big deal to acknowledge my best friends? I don't have a best friend. I don't have that level. I don't have like, oh my gosh, Devin, you're my best friend. What I do have is, I have very good friends, and then friends. I do have that. And to me, it's not weird at all to have a mental category of your friendships. It's intuitive. You have your friends and it's all fine. And then once upon a time, I showed that list to somebody because it came up in a conversation. And they were somebody who they were on the list. And they were really offended that I had a list where I ranked the friendship levels of all my friends. And so, that's the kind of spectrum I'm on, just so you know. Fun fact, doing COVID, the whole thing happened at work. So like my coworkers all found out about this list and there's a whole running joke at work. But doing COVID, one of my coworkers' spouse, they're very active on Instagram. They have like, I don't know, 50,000 followers, whatever it is, or maybe it's Twitter, I don't remember. And they were posting, doing COVID, they effectively posted at one point that they said, with everyone being like shut at home, whatever it is, I remember like my husband had this one coworker, she's talking, so like my husband had this one coworker who used to rank his relationships, and I have a hard time wondering how he's coping during this pandemic. And I was like, I hear that. But anyways, yeah, so I got rid of the list, by the way. I got rid of the list eventually because I realized other people were bothered by the list. I'm just like, whatever. Like, a question, there's a lot, Devin likes to play games with me on this because I will rank anything. Because to me, what's the big deal? Like, just think about objectively what makes the most sense to you and just rank it. What's the big deal? But other people sometimes don't like questions when you're like, hey, by the way, what are your 4 favorite games? Okay, you can only keep one of them. Which one are you going to keep? Okay, great. You have 3 kids. Which one's your favorite? If you can only have one of those kids, which one's your favorite? Like, those questions to me, I can answer those questions. I've realized over time, as I had more social interactions, that sometimes you don't rank those things in public. So, yeah, I'll do that. So, yeah, I mean, that's where we are. Anyways, back up to where we are. Also, Cosmozo, thank you for the super chat. Hi, my wife and I have 2 weeks off during the holidays, and we'd like to dive into one of the bigger games. This year, we're considering ATO, Teneris, and Nova Aetus Renaissance. What would you recommend? I have to know more about your preferences, but my favorite from those is Teneris. I think Nova Aetus might be more accessible. Instinctively, without having more information other than the question, I'd recommend Nova Aetus, which is an interesting recommendation considering that, I mean, ATO I don't like as much. I don't think it's bad, it's not for me. Teneris I love, and Nova Aetus Renaissance I was more middle on. I mean, I like it, I just didn't think it did anything new and innovative, but I think it's more accessible, so highly recommend that one. Anyways, my shocked and disgusted, no, Core Quest, I understand. I'm shocked and disgusted you like Devin more than me. See, there you are. Semi, I think Alex is shocked and disgusted too, but I appreciate that he shared his truth. Wordlax, will you be playing Tamashii with Meg? I will be playing Tamashii. That one might end up being a solo campaign, but I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Vince, message retracted. Oh, now you're just messing with me. Meg James, the obligatory, do you play Anachrony yet? No, but come to level up and play it with me. Successful, I'm not upset with you, just slightly disappointed. David, I think Catacombs is the best implementation of Clank. Ooh, intriguing. Again, I'm happy to play it at some point. I don't think I'm chasing it down. Pariah, no workout clock away. We'll have to rewatch. Welcome aboard. Nat, oh my god, I was similar when I was younger, Alex. Yeah, it didn't last the longest. I mean, it was... again, there was a reason. It's a long explanation, which I'm not going to the reason. There was a reason I had the list. It wasn't just like, let me rank all my friends. There was a practical relevance. But practical relevance or not, it resulted in some people feeling hurt, so I had to delete it. You talking about ranking me again, Alex? I know where I sit with Devin. That's fair, you do. Board Garden, Alex ranked Meg, Devin, and I. Yeah. I am more cognizant of the people who will be impacted. But if you push me to rank people, I'll do it. Like, I mean, listen. If we're gonna play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But Jenna, I do love you. You're amazing. Just so you know. Successful. I'm just not ranked because I'm off the charts. I'm in the wrong direction, but off the charts. Smileso. I'm still waiting on my NAR. Nova Ace Renaissance, I assume. Oh, Jenna, you're in my top 5. Jenna's probably in my top 5. It's hard. It's interesting. It's interesting grading relationships. You see, I don't want to do this. I'm not going to do this right now. I want to do this. I'm just going to be responsible and not do so. But it's interesting grading relationships and thinking about the people you have very deep relationships with, like how long those relationships have been going on. Like Akiva is one of my longest lasting friends. AP, you've seen him on the channel here and there. You'll see him on the channel again. But he's one of my longest lasting friends in terms of the people who I both have the most amount of time with and the most daily interaction. He definitely hits that zenith. But there's people who I have more daily interaction. There's people I have more daily interaction with. And there's people who I have more of a longer lasting friendship. But Akiva probably hits that pinnacle of he's probably sticking around. Let's see. Rank calyx sizes. 5x5 is the best calyx size, easily. This is only a 4x4 over here because I couldn't get a 5x5 with the ceiling, but in general, across the board, 5x5. I had shipping notification, but then they canceled for some reason. That's sad. Electric. Not sure if it's been asked. Do you have any plans, good sir, to make your own board game in the future? It's been asked in general in the past, but not this stream. In general, I've written rules for like 4 board games. I have playtested none of those board games and plan on playtesting none of those in the immediate future. One day, perhaps. Not anytime soon. Con Wajans, did you receive the new Chronicles of Junagar? Not yet. Do you like Tenaris more than Junagar? Yes, with caveats. Tenaris is interesting. Because an interesting conversation in general, which we haven't gotten into, but we will at some point, is how your opinions change around a game when you give it too much time. Tenaris, I'm like 70 hours into Tenaris by now, and it does change how much I enjoy it. When we're 10 hours into a game and you're like, I want more, it's different than being 70 hours into it and being like, we've done it a lot. So there is an interesting conversation there. But, yeah, that's basically that. Jenna, obligatory, you need to call Catan. We got a $10 super chat for you to call Catan, Jenna, and it's building up at this point, so we have to do things. Vince, is Stalker the board game worth backing? I'm a diehard fan of action post-apocalyptic board games. I am torn between Nemesis Retaliation and Stalker. I prefer Stalker to Nemesis. Hot take there. I was not excited about Stalker because I've never played the video game, wasn't excited about the IP. Stalker to me was, again, the big thing is they need to stick the landing. Anything that's a campaign, the hardest question is, do they do it well enough that you're going to keep diving into it or not? So I don't know for sure. But Stalker has the potential right now to be my... it's hard. My favorite Awakened Realms game right now is Great Wall. That's my favorite Awakened Realms game. ISS, I really like. Nemesis, I've had great experiences and mixed experiences, so I'm still mixed on it. I would say instinctively it's Great Wall, ISS, then Stalker. Instinctively, but you have to deliver first. I can't rank you officially until you deliver and you're done and finished. Yeah. Now Alex is obligated texter. You're not wrong. Let's do our group chat with Devin, Jenna, and Meg. We should add Chris George to it, but that guy's too busy. Jenna, comma, we got a super chat for $10, comma, you have to call Catan at this point, comma, it's getting a little overkill. Okay, done. Alright. Even when you're not on your own channel, you can't escape the Board Game Garden? I wouldn't want to. Mike, AP oozes character and interest. It's always fun when he's on the channel. I love AP. I wish he was on more. It's a scheduling thing. His job isn't board games. Like, the practical reality is, I get to hang out the most with people who their job is also board games. AP, his job is a job. And he plays board games as much as he can, but it's not the same level as where I would love. Like, he's the kind of person, like, if I ever got to, like, Dice Tower size where I could have, like, 5 people, I mean, like, there are people, I know the people who I want to work with the rest of my life, so, yeah. Jenna responded, never, mwaha, I'm gonna do the laugh, okay? She responded, never, mwahahahahaha. That was basically her response, so, AP is great play, Town Special with Devin, AP, and a few others, Gen Con. I love AP. He's one of my favorite, he's so good. Is Stalker better than the new Nemesis, Retaliation? It's hard to say. I need to play more Nemesis Retaliation, but so far I like Stalker more than Nemesis Retaliation. Yeah, I like Nemesis a lot, but Stalker was really well done for me. I would need to play both of them as a final game. I'm always hesitant with prototypes. I hate being held to, like, prototypes is always hard because you're really ranking a game in progress, and then people reference that later. Stalker is better than Nemesis Retaliation, yes, in my opinion. Even though she's in chat, yes, Brian, indeed. Eventually you'll get enough super chats to call Catan and buy the 3D version instead. That's the game plan. That is definitely the game plan. Board and Garden, I can't escape it. I'm in favor of keeping Catan for the record. Stay strong, Jenna. No. Jenna, the people have spoken with their wallets. Good lord. Ichabod Desert, I'm in favor of keeping Catan. No, Jamie, which would you recommend the most out of? Scythe, Expeditions, and Apiary in terms of long-term enjoyment? For me, Expeditions. But Scythe I'm not as big a fan of. I like Scythe, I don't love it. Apiary I really like, but Expeditions to me is holding up. Like, I've, I don't know, 15 plays of Expeditions in. It's like a decent amount. Considering it's new this year. Devin says $150 or no-go. Okay, well, we don't have Jenna's buy-in. Otherwise, I'd try to get you guys to give $150, but we don't have Jenna's buy-in that. Please do a video of ranking Awakened Realms videos. Ooh. The problem is I want Stalker to arrive first. And I need to play more Ice Vanguard. I need to play more Tamashii. I have opinions. I've dabbled in all the Awakened Realms titles, but I haven't, played all of them. This War of Mine is on the bottom, by the way. Just, this War of Mine straight on the bottom. Even though people love it. It's just not for me. Board Game Garden doesn't sound like the worst place to be trapped in. Sounds just like Jenna. Exactly. That was Jenna's voice. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to do a falsetto on the channel? Do I dare? I don't think I could do a mwahaha. Mwahahas come from your throat. I don't think I could do a falsetto mwahaha. I'm gonna try it. I apologize. Never. Mwahaha. It's not the same. It's less deep, but you gotta embrace the mwahaha. So yeah. Katana is so nostalgic to me, I'm struggling to call it. Other Joe. Who's Other Joe? I don't know who Other Joe is. Should I buy Too Many Bones or Dice Throne? I love Too Many Bones. I like Dice Throne. But without knowing more about your tastes, those are drastically different games. The only thing they have in common is dice. They're not the same game at all. That's like saying, should I watch, I don't know. Should I watch, what's a comedy? Should I watch Blazing Saddles or The Empire Strikes Back? And the answer is kind of depends on what your vibe is. Expeditions. Oh, Expeditions is so good. Have you tried to play some ranked games in Mythic Mischief app? Yeah, I have. I've played a ton. I haven't played in a bit. It's been a while. But I was playing a ton of Mythic Mischief for a while. I should dive back in. Expeditions is amazing. Board Game Garden. Apiary is packed and ready to go. Apiary is coming with us to PAX Unplugged. It's ready to go. Samson, how are you liking the Divinity Original Sin board game? I like it so far, but I'm only 2 games in. I need to see more of it. So right now it's hey, I like it, but I'm not ready to rank it yet. It's easily a 3.5. Easily. Is it a 4, 4.5, or 5? No, it's not a 5. For sure not a 5. Is it a 4? Is it a 3.5, 4, or 4.5? That's the range, but I need to play it more because you really need a lot more in the system. How are you liking group played Expeditions of Apiary and generally seem to prefer Apiary? What are your pros and cons of each compared to each other, even though they're completely different? My main con with Apiary is I always feel Apiary ends while I'm just about to get a few more things done. I always feel I want to get a few more things done. Those central hive tiles, whatever the name is, I can't remember what they're called. I never get 2 of those. I think one game I got 2 of those, and I had to try really hard. So my biggest con against Apiary is I feel I want to get a bit more done in it. My biggest con of Expeditions is that if you're playing it at a 4-player count, you don't get a worker. Someone doesn't get a worker the first round, which is sad. Even a 3-player count, that can happen depending on the tile setup. Apiary is 10 out of 10. Got it. Okay, I'm assuming that's on the second laugh. Apiary is Teotihuacan, Dwellings of Eldervale, and Ark Nova maps with cool exploration and overflow mechanics. I think it leans on established mechanics and benefits from them. I haven't played Teotihuacan. I have played Dwellings of Eldervale. I could see some similarities there. And the Ark Nova maps. Oh, the Ark Nova mini maps. Yeah, I see that. Okay, I see 2 of those things. I get that. Haven't played Teotihuacan, but I love Apiary. I think it's great. It's really... again, my metric for a good game is how fast am I playing with you when the review period is done. When I've done the review, I've played it a few times, I've reviewed it, and now I'm ready to move on. How fast is it getting played? That is the question. So, yeah. What's happening now? I don't know what's happening. Okay. We'll have to go... I got a message on Discord from Nat that I'm assuming is a funny joke, but I just have to go read it later. Anyways, let's see. Rank who you would believe to be... Where are we? Rank who you believe Star Realms Deluxe... Other Joe, you met me last year. Oh, Other Joe, there you are. For Forbidden Regicide, Star Realms Deluxe is out on Kickstarter, but I've recently backed Shards Infinity. Do you think it's worth to have both games? No, I don't. I think they're too similar. I prefer Star Realms a bit more, but I think they're both very similar, and I can understand the argument for both. Board Game Garden, heck yes. Machine Gun Devil Dog, will Gamefound ever make an app so I don't have to go through the Google? Ever? Probably, but not anytime soon. The short version of that is Gamefound iterates so fast that to have an app would require more development. That we'd basically have to slow down development to be able to keep the app up to date with the site. So right now we rely on it being mobile friendly. I respect that that's a problem for you, and eventually maybe, but first we have to slow down making new things, and we don't want to do that because we want to be the best platform out there ever, always, forever. Successful. Jenna only allowed to play Apiary of Catan is called. Once Catan is called. I want to play Apiary, so screw that. Successful. No, I did that stressful. Srebme, thanks to the stream. Have fun at PAX. Don't try too hard in the vlog. Jenna's will be better. Oh, Srebme. I love you. You're amazing. Jenna, if your camera goes missing, it's not my fault. Joe German, have you played ISIS Vanguard? If so, would you say that exploration gameplay is similar to Divinity, and which seems better? I played ISIS Vanguard for like 20 hours by now, but all of it doing the prototype phase. 2 different prototype phases. They had a second prototype phase. So it's been a while, and I don't know. I believe the exploration phase... the exploration phase is similar to Divinity. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, I mean, it has an overall similarity. I think Divinity focuses a bit. Yeah, I'd say it's overall similar. That's a fair question. I never thought about it. That's a very good comparison. Boarding Gardener, LOL. Nat, sorry Alex, you're fine, Nat. Machine Gun Double Dog, ouch. Gamefound is already the best platform out there, always forever. Yeah, that is... So you have to convince the people who think Kickstarter has more reach, and sometimes it does. That's the tricky part. Not all companies am I confident that Gamefound's the right choice, and we try to convince people when we can, but we're doing what we can. Alright, it's 2:03, and the questions are slowing down, which means I might just take this opportunity to end it. Successful. I just need a unified updates feed for Gamefound, then it'll be the best. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Kickstarter has that, right? Like, I've never used it, but I'm pretty sure Kickstarter has that. Like, there's a place you can go and you can just see all your updates. A unified updates feed. I like that. How long do you think it'll take to see a vlog from Matt Randolph? I mean, it depends on how fast. So here's the thing. Here's the trick. I don't think I'm doing a PAX vlog. So Jenna's should be better. What I'm hoping to do is not a PAX vlog. I might try to do both, but I don't count on it. But what I usually try to do is a PAX day 1 thing. So Jenna's might be better, but mine should be faster. Like, hopefully, if I do it right, hopefully what I'll have coverage of the floor day 1. And then that way, Friday morning, you should be able to pop on and see all the stuff from PAX, if things go well, but no guarantees. And that's where we are. We are at 2:05, an hour into the vlog. I'm going to go ahead and close this off now, because I got to go shopping for PAX and get all things ready. Of course, the man does the faster one. Yeah. Alex being upset with us ranking vlog is so ironic when he ranks friends. I'm not upset. I said I love you. Stubby said Jenna's will be better, and I was like, I love you. How upset is that? We have to have I'll be doing a vlog of each day. No, you're not. Are you, Jenna? Jenna, you're going to show me up. You're going to show me up. But you should. You should. Anyways, to all of you, I appreciate you all very much. You are the best 78 people that I know right now. The best 78 people. And I'm going to go ahead and end this. So thank you for being here. Appreciate you all. And I will see you next Wednesday, as well as several times in between, but not live. I think. I don't think it's live. There might be a live next Tuesday. Next Tuesday night might have a live. We'll see. But otherwise, Wednesday.